What's up, guys? We are back. Another episode here, and popular topic. We had a great question via my email. Somebody asked me basically about post-workout nutrition, and they happened to mention the anabolic window. If you clicked on this video just to know if the anabolic window is correct or just a myth, I'll get right to it. It's absolutely a myth. There's no research or data out there proving that, this 30 to 60 minutes after your workout or immediately after your workout to 60 minutes is precious time. You need to get a protein and quick carbs, simple carbs to shuttle all those nutrients you're eating into your muscles you're gonna become catabolic and everything. If you don't do it, it's a complete myth. Okay, so if that's all you wanted to know from this video, you could turn it off now. But I'll get a little more into it. Is that a lot of people say they consume a post-workout shake with carbohydrates for two reasons. They say, A, I want to spike insulin, and B, I want to refill muscle glycogen from the workout that I just did. There's a few problems with that. Is that if you're saying you want to refill muscle glycogen, number one, most workouts that you do in the gym for an hour or however long you're there, they aren't depleting muscle glycogen to a very high extent anyway. So for you to say you're rushing to refill muscle glycogen after you just did a workout, you probably don't need it anyway. Number two, if you're already eating meals that contain carbohydrates in them, you're refilling muscle glycogen in those meals anyway. So there's no reason to rush to get carbs and protein in post-workout, because if you're already going to go home and have a meal that has rice, potatoes, carbs in it, you're refilling muscle glycogen there. So you don't really need it you don't really need to rush post-workout to refill the muscle glycogen. And another thing is, if you recently ate a meal, most people eat a pre-workout meal, right? If you did that, it usually takes 2 to 3 hours for your body to digest that, and amino acids are still circulating in your bloodstream. So if you had a meal an hour before you went to workout, you likely already still have those amino acids digesting and going to your muscles through the workout and even hours after your workout. So there's no reason to really rush to get the post-workout shake in, because you already have amino acids going in. You already have the protein and things feeding the muscles that you need. It takes a good 1 to 2 hours for circulating substrate levels to peak, okay? And once they peak, it takes about 3 to 6 hours for them to come back to baseline. So right there you have about 8 hours. I'm assuming you're not doing an 8-hour workout. Most people are usually in there hour, 2 hours max is what you should be doing. So, if you consumed a pre-workout meal, depending on how big the meal is, you're digesting that meal still and releasing amino acids into your bloodstream likely during your workout and even far after. So it just negates the effect for a protein shake and carbs post-workout, because you're already getting the benefits of recovery from your pre-workout meal. It's also very important to note that muscle protein synthesis is elevated 24 hours after your workout. Okay? Originally, people tell you that it's only elevated when you do your last set and your last rep to about 60 minutes. So you need to get the protein and the carbs in so you can contribute to that protein synthesis and rebuilding of lean tissue. It's not correct. It's elevated 24 hours afterwards. So hopefully, if you're eating any type of meal and nutrition 24 hours after your workout, which I hope you are, you're already getting the benefits of recovery. So there's no need to rush on the protein shake and the carbs post-workout. Now, I wanted to touch on that with people refilling muscle glycogen. If you're eating carbs in your meals every single day, at every meal most likely, then you're already refilling the muscle glycogen. So it just negates the effect of needing carbs post-workout. Protein is actually one of the main things that I would push on people to have post-workout, not the carbs. And I'll explain that too. And this next bit is coming from if you're eating a low-carb diet, such as a ketogenic diet, and you still are consuming carbs post-workout, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that. And I'll tell you why. When you're on a ketogenic diet, low-carb diet, your body's primary fuel is ketones and fatty acids. Okay, so glucose is kind of like nil. Your body doesn't even really use it for that many things, because you've now adapted your body to using fatty acids and ketones. So the problem with consuming carbs post-workout while you're on a ketogenic diet and a low-carb diet is that as soon as you introduce carbs, you spike insulin. And once you spike insulin, you put the brakes on fat oxidation, your body's ability to burn fat. That's the last thing that you want to do when your goal is to burn fat. Okay, you don't want insulin to be high. Okay, if insulin is high, fat oxidation is low. Okay, and vice versa. So if fat oxidation is high and your body's mobilizing fat, using fat for energy, insulin is usually low. So consuming carbs pre-workout or post-workout will enhance carbohydrate oxidation, but it puts the brakes on fat oxidation. If your body or your goal is to burn body fat, that's the last thing you want. And to be honest, the key thing towards fast recovery and rebuilding of lean mass is HGH. It's not insulin. You know, we want high spikes in HGH post-workout, not insulin. You have to remember that insulin is the antagonist to HGH. Okay, so if insulin is high, again, HGH is low. We want HGH high, so we got to keep insulin low. Insulin is also inflammatory and it promotes inflammation within our cells. We want to keep inflammation down to aid in recovery. So insulin post-workout or carbs post-workout is just not optimal for recovery and the rebuilding of lean mass. We want HGH high. And a big thing to remember is that small changes in your insulin levels will create big changes in fat breakdown, okay? Insulin blunts fat oxidation. Just remember that. If insulin is high, your body's ability to burn fat is low, okay? And believe me, there are many hormones involved in lipolysis, which is your body burning fat. There are many hormones involved with the oxidation of fat, the mobilizing of fatty acids, and burning them for energy, etc. But insulin seems to be the key player that puts the brakes on mobilizing and oxidizing fat. Okay, so we want insulin low at all times if your goal is to burn body fat. I know I kind of went off like on a tangent of like burning fat when you're on low carb and stuff like that, but just to get real back to it and put things into perspective for you guys. You recover a lot better just by consuming a quickly absorbing protein, like a whey protein or a whey protein isolate, something like that. You recover better just by doing that. Carbs are just not optimal post-workout. And do I consume a protein shake after my workout? I do. I have about 30 to 40 grams of whey protein after my workout, and I have 10 grams of creatine in there because I'm currently supplementing and having a stack of creatine monohydrate as well. But I'm not doing that to just make tremendous gains, or I think I'm gonna go catabolic after I finish my workout. It's that, you know, I have a 25-30 minute drive to the gym, and I'm the type of person where when I'm done with my workout, I am starving. There are a lot of people who tell you after they're done with the workout, they don't even want to eat. They don't even have an appetite. I'm the complete opposite. I'm starving. So just something to get into my system, something that's quickly absorbed and get some amino acids in there and what have you. I just have a whey protein shake right before I leave the gym. So I have a 30-minute drive back to my house, and that's just what it is. It's just to curb my hunger. That's all it is. And if you're gonna have fat post-workout, that's another thing. People say you can never have fat post-workout. It slows down digestion. It's the type of fat you have post-workout. So you could have a quick absorbing protein supplement, and if you have fat, make sure it's an MCT, a medium chain triglyceride fat. And my favorite source of MCTs is coconut oil. So you could just put a tablespoon of coconut oil in your whey protein shake post-workout and you're good to go, because MCTs are more readily burned as energy in our body. Our body doesn't want to store really MCTs. They just want to get rid of them, and they're quickly burned for energy. So that's the type of fat you can have post-workout. So I hope you guys liked the video. You know, carbs post-workout, the anabolic window, this and that. Carbs are just not needed post-workout. They're not really optimal for you. If you're gonna rebuild muscle glycogen, do it at the other 4, 5, 6 meals you're having out of the day, including carbohydrates. You know, refill muscle glycogen there. You know, your workouts, a 1 to 2 hour workout isn't really depleting muscle glycogen to a high extent where you need to rush to refuel it and ingest the glucose to start rebuilding muscle glycogen. Your workouts just aren't that. They're just not that taxing. You know, it'd be different if you're on like a 6 to 8 hour run or something like that that's gonna deplete muscle glycogen, but they just don't do that. You don't need to rush to refill muscle glycogen post-workout. And muscle protein synthesis is elevated 24 hours after a workout. You don't need to rush 30, 60 minutes to get protein in to make sure you're gonna stay anabolic and you don't start eating away muscle tissue. It's elevated 24 hours post-workout, so there's no reason to rush. Guys, I hope you liked the video, and as always, subscribe to our channel, like our video. We're gonna have a ton more stuff coming for you guys. And I got a lot of stuff coming in this next month of December and going into the new year, and I'm really excited about it. Stay up to date with us, and we'll keep you guys informed and come at you with the next video. Comment below, let us know what you want to see next, and we'll bring the research and data to you, so you have a clear mind, and you know that it's what's proven to work, and you can go about toward achieving your goals. All right, guys. So God bless you guys. Take care. Hope Hustle Fitness.